GM. Welcome back to Noun O'Clock live at Zero Rights Media. I know the title screen says at the Noun Square. I just haven't got around to fixing it. We're watching the end of the auction for Noun 1383. This pop tuba, or the ska trumpet, as I like to think it is. If you want to watch the end of the auction with us, nounoclock.live or nomo.wtf is the place to be. Once again, that's nounoclock.live or nomo.wtf. They'll both take you to the same place. While you're there, you can check out Nomo Now, number 1383. This heavy piano we got yesterday for just 0.00069 ETH. That is 226 USD. 100% of the proceeds go to the Yellow Collective Treasury, which goes to funding artists on chain in the Nouniverse and beyond. Speaking of the Yellow Collective, you've got 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to bid on Collective Noun number 463. This Nouny clock with a French fry accessory, super clean on a base background. If you want to check that out, yellowcollective.xyz is where you want to go for that. But we will come back to that in a few minutes. For now, 3 minutes left on this Nouns auction. 2.72 bid, never mind. 2.78 bid coming in from, I can't read that. One of the few languages I cannot read, but I will fix that eventually, I'm sure. But yeah, we're currently sitting at a 2.78 bid. How are you doing, Brett? On this
I'm okay.
fine morning. It is so much sunnier today than it has been, and it's unfortunate that it's also so much colder here.
This is the same ENS from before. I just translated it again. Rebirth. I pick up trash in the cryptocurrency world.
Oh, that one that sounds like a Kingdom Hearts title.
Yes.
368 out of over 2 days or something.
Trash tuba, I suppose.
Trash tuba, I guess.
I thought it was good.
I think it's brilliant. I love it. But then again, I listen to ska unironically, so I would say that, wouldn't I? I keep telling people ska is the music that that plays in a 9-year-old's head when you pick them up from soccer practice and tell them that you're going to take them to McDonald's. That is the music. It's specific, and you know exactly what I mean. It's specifically that. Anyway.
I just pinned up. I'm just like scrolling through while we're waiting for the auction, and Davin just got a box of toys for the school.
Quack and Lola! Aw. Well, we have time to look at this because Dusk just jumped in with a 2.84 bid. Apparently agrees with us that this is a sick noun. Oh my god, they got Quack and Lola for that school. I still don't have Quack and Lola.
As long as, everything's still going to plan, I think, what is it, like 10 days, maybe 2 weeks until the school's supposed to open? Like, as of what was on the proposal?
Until it officially opens, yeah. There's actually already people that are, like, they're already holding classes there.
Yeah, I saw they were, like, using some of the finished places.
Yeah. So it is already in use, but the grand opening is going to be when it is officially, like, they're not doing construction anymore, and it's not that. I think they're basically done already. In a couple weeks is when they do the handover. So for anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, this post from Davin's been working for the last better part of a year on building a noun school in Uganda, about 2 hours or 2.5 hours west of Kampala, if you know your geography. And oh, here we go, another bid, 2.9 coming in from the Kingdom Hearts name. But yeah, he's been working for a while on this. It's a very simple construction. It's basically just concrete buildings, but they did not have anything close to that level of quality in that area until now. So they are very, very high quality. They will last for decades. There's going to be thousands of kids going through this school over the years. And the way that this whole project is working is that they are building the school with the Nouns funds, and then once the school is fully officially completed, it has its own uh, generators. It has water treatment nearby, so it is entirely self-sustaining. And once it's 100% done, they're going to be handing it over essentially to the local government. So it will be a public school for people in that area. All that Nouns has been responsible for is actually building the damn thing, and then the local government is going to cover upkeep and everything like that. So that is what is happening in a couple of weeks: is the official transfer of ownership, um, from a sort of the private industry that is Nouns to the local government, saying like, this is officially yours to do with what you will. But they are already using it. They're already it's they're already using it to teach classes in and everything. This is just when it officially becomes property of the government, as I think what's happening at the grand opening. Don't quote me because I could be wrong, but as far as I'm aware, that's what's happening. Yeah, I'm excited. I think it's going to be fun. I fill up bank study coming into the 2.96. Okay, we were right. This is a good looking noun.
It's gorgeous.
Philip is a dumper.
I don't care.
That's hilarious.
They wouldn't be bidding on it if they didn't think they could sell it. I like it.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, see?
Make your 0.01 or what's his markup? Philip the dumper.
Oh, I haven't looked. I just see them getting transferred out a lot.
Wow.
Well,
Into
anyway,
my last 2 weeks in Portugal here, and I've got the whole house to myself. All of a sudden, everyone's gone back to Canada
Oh,
for the
nice.
time being. Yeah,
where are you going after that?
I'm going back to Canada too. Unfortunately, I'd stay if I
Oh, shit.
could. Yeah,
Time flies. I had no idea it had been that
yeah,
long already.
yeah. Coming up on 90 days. Gonna get
Well,
kick you out.
some current events that are happening. Has anybody been following what's been going on with this TikTok?
Vaguely.
Oh my god. I am this is I have been
The
cackling
the only
for
thing I've
24
seen
hours
is
straight.
Mr. Beast like jokingly said that he would buy it, and then he made another post that he had a bunch of like super wealthy people DMing him.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah,
Not as
so
wealthy
what's
as the
going on?
actual purchaser.
For anybody who isn't aware of what's going on, TikTok is imminently going to be banned in the US unless something changes, which it very
in
well
like
might.
in like 4 days,
Um
isn't it?
yeah, it's getting banned on the 19th.
19th.
So here's what's going on: is the idea that they originally had, because they say it's for national security, it's not, but that's what their claim it's about. And so they
It's because everyone is
context for
dancing
this is that
so poorly. We need to put a stop
Meta
to it.
well, here's the thing. Meta has lobbied more to this than anyone has ever lobbied for anyone ever. They broke the record to lobby to get TikTok banned. So the real reason is pretty transparent. It's because Meta thought that once TikTok was gone, they wouldn't have to build Reels into a usable platform. But everybody, because lobbying is public or it's illegal, everybody saw this. For anybody who isn't aware of how U.S. politics works, lobbying is what it's called when you bribe politicians, but you do it in the open, so it's legal. Um, so, uh, yeah, so Zuckerberg lobbied more than anyone has ever lobbied before to get TikTok banned, and the idea presumably was that people would move to threads and reels on Instagram and everything like that. And the government was saying like, okay, well, this is to prevent your data being going over to a foreign power. With Meta steals your data, Messenger steals so much, but it's U.S. owned, so I guess that's fine. Uh, what people have been doing is like, okay, you don't want our data going to the Chinese government? I bet. And everybody is downloading Red Note, which is the version of TikTok that is actually owned by the CCP. It's the Red Note is the US name. It has become the #1 most downloaded app on the iOS and Android app stores. Like immediately, overnight. It went from nobody knowing about it to it being the most downloaded application. And now you've got people learning Mandarin and like doing like a cultural exchange. Every video on that app is subtitled in the other language because it's all only like Chinese and Americans. So all the English videos are subtitled in Mandarin and the Mandarin videos are subtitled in English. Like, so good. I love this for us. I love that everybody was so petty that they went, you didn't want our data going somewhere else? Okay, we will willingly hand it to them then, just to spite you. I have been crying laughing about this. And now the government is panicking. So we've got senators who are trying to pass bills to delay the ban for 270 days. If they do that, it's never getting banned. They'll just keep pushing it. Because the people called their bluff. ByteDance didn't sell it, which everybody thought they were going to. It's so... I have been laughing about this for literally, basically since the end of the show yesterday.
Awesome.
Because it's just, the whole situation is just so I love how petty we can be. It makes me so happy. Anyway, with 2 minutes left on the auction, we've got a new face here. I'm not really familiar with this person, but they seemed somewhat trustworthy. Tawadi Hauk? Is that
How?
how
Hey
you
guys,
pronounce that?
yeah, I'm joining live from Redbook.
Oh, nice.
This
Hey
is
Tony,
the
how you doing?
new. I'm good, guys. How are you?
I've been laughing
It's been
about
a
this
while.
Red Note
It's been
thing for 23 hours.
it's such a it's a very Gen Z move.
It's so
I will
good.
give them that.
Also, it's a fantastic application. I got it. It's great.
Congratulations, you're on a list. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, please. I've been using WeChat for
RFG
years.
has
I've been
been on the
that
list.
list.
Yeah, it's been on that list for a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my body is
RFG
full of implants. Every time I go through TSA, I get added to the list again.
RFG's on that list twice, just in case.
Yeah.
As a robot, as a fish, and as a girl.
I
well,
believe
there's
that
less than
makes
a
it
minute.
thrice.
That would make it thrice. There's less than a minute. Never mind. Philip coming in with another bid. Oh, and Nomo got borked.
Ben Body.
It just needs to load.
Yeah, it just
Ben
needs to take time to load.
Body!
That's fine. We've got 4 minutes and 40 seconds left on the timer now, so we've got time.
Kudos, though, by the way, to Ben Body for fixing Nomo before any of the other repo packages got fixed, including nouns.wtf as far as last time I checked.
Has that been fixed yet? Let me find out.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
it was fixed that day.
Probably because Gami put nouns on blast, basically, and said that.
Wait, he did?
Yeah, he was like, our onboarding sucks. He's like, if you go to nouns WTF Twitter, it links to nouns.wtf, which is currently down. Not great.
You know what? That's fair. I still like the idea of having a page that just directs towards auction front ends.
Yeah, I think there's something to that. Like, ideally, I think it'd be something kind of. Didn't Nounish make one that was sort of like explain to people how nouns works, but then also had links out to camp and auctions? I thought they had done like an MVP of that at one point.
I think they did, but there was another one that you just hit a button and then that was somebody, an independent
That was Mike.
person.
Yeah, Mike made
Yeah.
that one, I think.
Oh,
that one.
okay.
But
Yeah,
I don't know if
I didn't know that was Mike.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool, but I don't know if that's the best for like new people because you don't want necessarily
Oh,
new people like.
it was just like a button on the screen, right?
Yeah,
And it just like brought
Yeah.
you to
It did
a
the
random
nouns
place.
animated explainer animation, and then when you clicked it, and then yeah.
Yeah, which is cool. But, I mean, I prefer to have like a directory and then maybe a button underneath the directory that says "Bring me to a random one" or something like this. But we still need something above the fold that when people drop there because they see nouns somewhere that they actually get some explanation, normie explanation for what nouns is.
Yeah.
Mike is saying that Sam made it, not Mike.
Oh, didn't Mike? I thought Mike had one separately then. Like I know the one he's talking about, I know, was actually for one of the first hackathons.
Yeah, that's
The
what
only,
I was thinking of, where it's literally just a button on a screen. It's like bring me somewhere or
yeah,
something.
yeah. But that was all nouns pages. Like there was a lot of ones in that database. But I could have sworn Mike had one that was specifically for front ends, and it was like frontends.wtf or something.
I mean,
Yeah,
well,
that's
he's here. Let
probably
me
it.
ask.
I'm almost positive it's frontends.wtf.
NetNose is
Yeah,
asking in the YouTube chat when Zero Rights Media Client.
and I mean he also has the nouns world too, which is everything,
Yeah,
and it's
nouns. That world is cool.
he's slowly been updating it and working on stuff over there.
One of my favorite pages that we
That's a
have.
better place. Nouns.world is a better place to onboard than probably any other site. NounSwap is doing some cool things too, but yeah, those would be
I
the way to
saw
go.
Goldie put out a post saying like with all of their updates, maybe they should consider changing the name because
Well,
it's more than just
it's funny that he mentioned that because I often think like Goldie and I had like share two sides of the same brain because I've been talking to the guys from NounSwap for a while and we spent like a week going back and forth trying to find a good domain because I had the same feedback. I was like, you've outgrown the NounSwap name. Really, you could try to rebrand it as like technically a purchase of a noun as a swap, and it is, but I didn't think that they were going to be able to overcome some of the negative sentiment around that name, especially with certain people in the community. So we did try actually to find something, and we had some good candidates. But the problem is most nouns domains are being squatted on. People
you
have
might
just
need to
grabbed them.
ring in Gami for that. He's one of the kings of coming up with names.
Yeah, maybe he owns half of those. He probably owns
He
half of those
probably does.
domains too.
Yeah, I love hanging out with Gami because I message him and I'm like, oh my god, I have a stupid idea today, and he's like, I have 7 stupid ideas and 4 of them have domain names, and I'm like, I can't keep up with you.
I gave them nouns.bid, which it goes there. Go to nouns.bid. It goes to NounSwap. They just
Oh
won't
shit, really?
normalize it.
Yeah, nouns.bid is good, but again, like I
Oh
think we
yeah.
need a noun site that doesn't concentrate on the auction as
Heads
the
up,
first
it is
stop.
also
You might.
info janky FOMO.
Anyway, we'll talk more after FOMONOMO. But
Yeah, FOMO. If you haven't been here
FOMONOMO.
before, or if you have been here before, you know the drill, but just in case you haven't, you see these nouns flying by, give it a thumbs up if you like it, a thumbs down if you don't. If we get enough thumbs ups is on a noun, then I'm going to spam click that settle button, and that's going to be the noun that's on auction for the next 24 hours.
Aardvark disco toast.
And good lord,
That's
guess
what
is
I had for
high.
breakfast.
Yes, me too. I mush it up into a ball.
Aardvark Disco Toast?
Yep.
PGA, a rare
That
sighting.
sounds like something that somebody would be named on, like, what's it called? My brain is blanking. MSD3K.
Round set. Yeah.
like the many names of Dave Ryder, that sort of thing.
Ooh, aardvark.
Fridge large
Aardvark.
meat. Punt speed junk. Aardvark Disco Toast.
That's my password for my Gmail.
Makes sense. I mean, admit it was secure until you proclaimed that.
Yeah. X copy, X fax.
That's all right.
Wealthy painter.
X copy, X paste.
It's paste, yes. Y paste also.
Whoa, that's loud.
Yep. Oh, I like that one.
Me too. very like
Well,
going
if
back
you
to
liked
Canada.
it, you should
I
I'm
gave
have
it
gonna
a
soon
thumbs
get
up.
my luggage.
said so.
I gave it a thumbs up. I was the
Not
only
you.
one
I
that
know you
did.
did. I know you did. I meant Symbiote Tech. I that was. I think it was an aesthetic noun, but it was also just a lot. It was very loud.
Is it a
I'm screaming
hangnail
at
on a
you. Yo,
laptop?
How would you manage that?
Double
There's a lot
people?
of jewels in this one. The idea of a holy Fabergé egg is worrying on a few levels.
Not as nice. It'll be a battle of the beanies.
Also, I
I
think
like the
this
Yo Beanie
trait
better.
basically already, or no, there's one that's just like this with a different shirt color, but it has the LOL accessory. I'm pretty sure.
Speaking of Ben
That's
Body,
literally Ben Body.
yeah, his
Yeah.
favorite noggles, his favorite head,
Mhm.
buck teeth.
Oh, beautiful.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's
all right.
nice.
I'm
That's
going for
Yep,
it.
yep, get that one.
Oh, okay, I'm not the only
classic.
one. Fantastic.
Yep.
Oh, man. Fantastic. That is a beautiful robot. And now it's time for Nomo. If you're not there already, nounoclock.live, nomo.wtf. You're going to see all these nouns arrayed before you. You're going to pick your absolute favorite from among them. Spam click it with all your might every 10 seconds. Half of them are eliminated until we're left with just one. That's going to be the Nomo noun of the day. Make sure you've signed in with your wallet and you're on OP, or your clicks will not be counted. Once again, sign in with your wallet or your clicks will not be counted. Couple good ones here. I love that abstract noun. The panda, the monochromatic panda up in the top right for me is fantastic.
Look at that tuba. The tuba is like lost in the sauce.
I didn't even see there was a tuba. Are we
A
looking
tuba.
at the same thing? There's a
Where are you,
bell, there's a
Toby?
macaroni.
I'm looking at it on my. I'm looking at it on my phone. It's actually a ducky. Sorry. See, that just goes to tell you though how hard it is to see because it's right on the yellow.
I'm not seeing the duck either.
A
What?
duck.
Are you okay? I see a lightning bolt, a bell,
There's a
and a
bell.
macaroni. They're the only three that could be what you think they are.
You know what? It's a bell. It's a bell. I don't recommend trying to play Nomo on your phone. Okay, it's a bell.
Okay.
And Isabel.
Yeah. Isabel.
Isabel. Yo, beanie.
Obviously I'm going for the Decay Pride abstract noun. It's just too good. It's one of my favorite heads in the collection, honestly, and I love it with these noggles as well. All right. Yeah. It's going to come down to my two favorites. It's going to be hard to pick, but
Final round. Panda versus Pride Abstract. Who will win? Who will lose? 3, 2, 1, fight!
Panda's shady. Go for the abstract.
Panda wins. Brutality.
you know what? I'm not even mad. I wasn't voting for it, but it's beautiful. That is a fantastic panda with that Noun accessory and some shades on a red background. If you want to pick up this Nomo noun number 1384, it does match the noun of the day. If you want to pick it up, you can do so for the next 23 hours and 57 minutes at nounoclock.live or nomo.wtf. 100% of the proceeds for Nomo nouns go to the Yellow Collective Treasury, which goes to funding artists on chain in the Nouniverse and beyond. Speaking of the Yellow Collective, Pat, picking up collective noun number 463, that beautiful Nouny clock. We're going to settle this auction and see what we get for 464. And the next yellow collective noun will be a yellow square. I hit the button too early. Come on, load for me. Oh, there it is. There's the
Ooh.
bathtub. We have got
Zero
a nil.
rights.
A zero rights bathtub. We've got a bathtub on a green body with a nil accessory and a yellow background. I don't know. There's something
Baptismal.
aesthetic about this. Maybe it's the fact that it looks kind of the body makes it look like there's algae in it. I don't know. If you want to bid on this collective noun, you can do so at yellowcollective.xyz for the next 23 hours and 59 minutes. Yellow Collective is an on-chain club devoted to funding artists in the Nouniverse and beyond, and that can be any sort of artist. It doesn't matter if you are a sculptor, a painter, a musician, an actor, an animator, whatever you happen to be, any sort of art that you make, if you can put it on chain, we are interested in funding it. Yellowcollective.xyz for more
Did
info.
you
You
just
can
say
also check out our...
smelter?
What?
Did you say smelter or?
No, I
I mean,
didn't.
if you are a smelter, we, you know.
If you are a smelter,
I
as
was
long as you're
impressed on the
forming it
inclusivity.
into something interesting later, we are still interested.
Okay.
I said
Apparently,
if
I
you're
can't see or hear this morning. So
if you're a
never mind.
painter, an animator, a photographer, a dancer, a musician,
Or
Add
a
smelter to the
smelter.
list.
or a smelter, apparently.
You know what they say: if you smelter, you delter.
I knew that joke was coming, and I did nothing to stop it, and I am filled with regret. Anyway, and if you are any of those things, or if you are building infrastructure to support any of those things, come check out the Yellow Collective. We're definitely going to be interested in having you. Also, go check out the Yellow Collective channel over on Warpcast. It's where we post pretty much everything. And we've got a ton of artists that are super active in that community. Go check it out. Also, Toady, this is relevant to your interest. NetNose is in the YouTube chat saying, I just received the base paint sweater.
Nice. I didn't order one of those, but they did look pretty cool. I feel like they should have had them shipped out before Christmas though, because they're definitely quite a bit of a Christmas sweater vibe. But still, very cool.
Nice.
Maybe we should try to get one made of the yellow one, because that was pretty cool. Which was almost a year ago now, today.
Wow. I can't believe it's been that long.
Yep.
Yeah, it feels more like 5 years.
Yeah.
Wait, what were you saying?
Well, I mean, we're, crypto time. It has been. We age faster.
It's been at least 5 bear markets since then.
Well, we had
I mean, just this week alone.
And 10 metas.
The thing is, some of those bear markets did overlap because we had the bear that happened while we were in the bear. Because we hit a bear market and then nothing changed, but everybody like deluded themselves into saying we're so back, and then we hit a bear market again. Anyway. That's the Yellow Collective. Go check it out, yellowcollective.xyz. All right, well, we've covered the news that has been dominating my brain for the last 23 hours of the little red book taking over the U.S. app stores. We talked about Quack and Lola showing up to the Noun School, which is very exciting. What else is going on? Obviously proposals, but if there's anything else happening other than the ZeroPod episode, which I haven't had a chance to actually listen to yet, but Toady, you're here. You want to tell us about it? But don't give me that look.
Have a good one. What look is that? The shocked look?
The shocked look that I haven't had time to listen to it.
No, it's a good episode actually. It's with Nick Tomino, who I wasn't like super familiar with. I knew he was an OG from around the space, and I also knew him from Farcaster because his firm, One Confirmation, which is a crypto VC firm, was a big early investor in DGen, and so it kind of made waves when they invested in DGen, and everybody at the time was like, VC firms are buying meme coins, everything's going to shit. And he was very vocal at the time, being like, well, we see DGen as a utility coin, as a proxy coin for Farcaster, and sort of outlined his thesis for DGen, and I think that worked out pretty well for them and for his firm. But yeah, I recommend listening to the pod. It was actually quite interesting. He's an OG in the space. He was one of the first employees of Coinbase, yet another member, I guess, of the infamous Coinbase mafia. And so he worked there when they really only had a few employees, and then went on to found One Confirmation, and they've been an early investor in OpenSea, and they were pretty early on Ethereum even at that time. So yeah, pretty interesting story. He had a lot of really good advice, I think, for people, which most of it is summed up in the title of the podcast episode, which is believe in something is kind of his core ethos. So
Love
go
it.
listen. Let us know what you think.
You can listen to Zero Pod anywhere you would normally find a podcast. It's literally everywhere. So,
Yeah, the easiest is just go to pods.media/zeropod. I've just been sending their people there because they do such a good job of pulling in the YouTube embed, and you can also click the Spotify link directly from there. And if you like and want to support our content, you can also mint a copy of the on-chain edition all in one spot. So shout out Pods on that.
Yeah, congrats on being the first to hit 10 ETH on pods.
Thanks. Well, that's not the first on Pods, but it's the first in the Blueprint Media Accelerator, the content accelerator that I've been working in since early December. So the first cohort, they had Quack and Lola were in it, and if you're on Farcaster, Naomi, I'm sure, Afro Chicks, and a few others were in their first cohort, and I'm halfway through the second cohort now, and they're giving us basically mentorship from all sorts of partners, like Dan from Farcaster and Coop from Coop Records and Kyle from Daylight, etc. And then just sort of sharing their learnings on how Adam from Mint Podcast has grown that podcast and their network, using some interesting sort of Mint incentives and marketing. So yeah, they have this thing called the 10 ETH Club, 100 ETH Club, and 1,000 ETH Club, and it sort of tracks the volume that you've done since joining the cohort. And they announced yesterday that ZeroPod had just surpassed 10 ETH. That's not 10 ETH in profit or revenue for us, unfortunately. I wish it was, but it's still volume. And then from that, Pods takes their cut, and then BP has a split as well. But still, very cool, and on track, I think, to beat the record from last cohort if we keep it up through the next 5 weeks. So thanks
hell
for all your
yeah.
support on the pod.
I love that. Yeah, and
Yeah, and
honestly,
shout out Adam too. Like I said this a few times on the TL, but I think in our space, a lot of times when people like crack a nut or they like figure something out that's really difficult to figure out, they keep it to themselves, right? They gatekeep it. They don't want other people to know the secrets. And Adam was like, "Yeah, no, I'm gonna share it with people and tell them how to teach them how to do it." And he's obviously turned it into an additional business as well by having splits on the mints from the people that he teaches. But to me, that feels very aligned, because you're teaching people and you're kind of putting your money where your mouth is, saying like, hey, we're going to teach you how to make more money as a creator, and if it doesn't work, then I also won't make money. So yeah, shout
yeah,
out Adam
rising
and
tide.
Blueprint. Exactly. And if any creators are listening to this, I think they're going to open up applications for cohort 3 in the next few weeks. So if you're a creator, I definitely highly recommend it. Just for the mentorship, the marketing funds are great too. You basically get $30,000 worth of marketing funds earmarked for your art or for your podcast, depending on what you're applying for. But even just like the mentorship from all the different partners, and also just like I guess networking or making friends with the other people in the cohort is pretty cool too. So high praise for the program so far.
Awesome. Yeah, and for anybody who hasn't listened to ZeroPod, I think sometimes our audiences can be sort of unintentionally segregated, where some people are listening to live content, some are listening to the evergreen, and there's an overlap there, but it's not as large as we might like. I do recommend it,
The
seriously, even
overlap
as
the overlap is Mirko. Mirko is listening to all of them at the same time.
yeah,
Always.
well, other than where's the joke about the statistic of people eating like 9 spiders a night, and it's like, no, well, you shouldn't have included Spiders George. He's an outlier. He eats 10,000 spiders a day. He shouldn't have been included in the data set.
Wow, I had no idea Mirko was Spiders George.
Yeah, Mirko Spiders George of Zero Rights Media. You know how sometimes I talk about, you say a sentence that makes 0 sense to anyone outside of your niche.
That does make a lot more sense now, though, because he did tell me he was a web developer. So
Oh, God. Oh, I walked into that one. All right. Anyway,
That's how spider webs work. Yes.
don't you. The moment you started talking, but
Come
that's
on,
what's
you've missed
frustrating.
it.
Is it
Admit
no? That one
it.
I missed until he started talking, and then it was that's what's so frustrating is that I realize what jokes you're about to say, but I realize them a millisecond after you start saying them, so it's too late. Anyway, no, but seriously, as someone who is largely, I do host this show every day, but from the wider Web3 ecosystem, I am largely separate, and I still find Zeropod very interesting. Even though I'm pretty much just here for nouns and decentralization, like hearing about these founders and everything that they do, and everybody else that Toady gets on the show. They're it's fascinating, and it's a wide range of people, and they're all doing super interesting things. So seriously, I genuinely recommend it, even if it's not your typical thing. I do not listen to any other crypto podcasts, and it's not because I just like Toady.
It's actually the opposite of that.
Yeah, it's in spite of the fact that Toady is the one. No.
Well, I really appreciate you saying that, and I think part of that is just because there's so many overlaps between what you might call Ethereum culture and nouns culture, and that's what I've kind of discovered over the course of doing this podcast is that you don't even have to even mention nouns to someone to really cover all the principles that nouns kind of holds dearly, because a lot of them are the same principles that Ethereum holds dearly. So when you get someone like Nick Tomino on, who maybe has barely even ever heard of nouns or just in passing, but he still has this like core ethos of like believe in something, and it's like a very nounish thing. So I think if you find people that are aligned with Ethereum, they tend to be like nouns aligned, even if they don't know they are, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, and it's something that I think from an external perspective, which is again, I realize that I'm pretty embedded, but compared to a lot of other people, I have a largely external perspective. Um, a lot of crypto things don't seem to have that much of a principled execution, and so when you have guests on that talk about the principles that they hold dear, you realize, oh, there is a lot of overlap. It's just it's hard to tell when you don't really get to know them, and that's what our very own Spiders George is saying in the YouTube chat, is you really get to know the people behind the projects, which I think is very valuable for a lot of people. There's you know I think people underestimate just how valuable it is to understand the individuals behind the thing. Because if you can understand the people, then I think for a lot of us it makes it easier to understand the things that they're doing. um, or more properly, the reason why they're doing the things that they're doing. So yeah, go listen to Zeropod, and or go watch it on YouTube, because Jack puts an ungodly amount of time into editing these videos, as does Toady. So, go consume the video content, and then go listen to them if you can't watch them for whatever reason. And what was that again? Pods.media?
Pods.media/Zeropod. Yep.
Fantastic. All right. I don't know why I just interviewed you like you don't work here. I just like teeing
You
you
just
up
wanted
for
to put me on the
self
spot. That's
promo.
fine.
So
That's fine.
anyway, let's go take a look at some proposals. It does look like the Beijing prop has recovered significantly. The Noggle at the Central Academy of Fine Art Beijing. Currently sitting at 62 to 55 with 25 hours left. There's only two other props that are up. This token buyer prop, which if you don't know about this, basically at the moment, Nouns needs to, if we want to fund someone in USDC and we do not have enough USDC to do it, then it essentially takes two proposals to get the USDC to be able to execute those. So you would first have to unstake ETH, then you have to sell it for USDC. And both of those take individual proposals that one cannot be executed until the previous one is done. And then you can execute a proposal to actually pay a proposer. This will solve that problem essentially and reduce those two steps into just one. being able to go directly from stake ETH into USDC. So that's what that's asking to do, is an audit for that system, asking for 20K to audit that code. And then I still haven't had a chance to really understand this DeSci Fellowship prop. Does anybody here know a lot about this?
A lot? No. A little? Yes.
Well, that's more than I know.
I mean,
I'm not
it's
functional. I'm decorative. I need.
they've come from Carlos bringing people in from his journeys. And I mean, this is quite an extensive proposal, but from what I've gathered from it, they're trying to do like breathwork classes and exercises and um, about how like just learning how to, I guess, breathe properly is a great alternative healing source and how you can, help yourself with all those benefits. And it's just quite extensive. They want to do like research papers and all sorts of things over the next, was it 5 years, which is a long time.
That is a long time, and it explains why they're asking for 165K to do it. I do appreciate that they put so much detail into this proposal. I think that's really useful. Yeah. I'm sure we're going to talk about this more. I've been trying to get the folks behind this proposal on the show, or trying to get in contact with them to invite them.
I've never heard breath described as decentralized before. It's interesting imagery.
It's not wrong, but it is definitely weird to think about. But I do get, within the context, I get what they're saying. Like, you can't you can't charge someone for breathing. You can't, prescribe someone and give them a bill to, hey, breathe right, you know. And they did comment. They didn't edit the prop, but they did comment in the replies. If anyone is wondering, the research will be open access and published with CC0 journals only. So none of that paywall nonsense that plagues the scientific paper world.
I do think there is something interesting in sort of exploring different expressions of nouns, and I think it's I see Carlos down there, and I'm not sure if this is one of Carlos's contacts, but I know he's been trying to onboard people from the DeSci community, and there definitely is like an opportunity there, because I think it's cool to see all the different types of open source things, being united. But yeah, I haven't dug into this particular prop too much yet, but there's something interesting.
This was Orcapod. I do know that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, John Ruth, for anybody who doesn't know, is working with Carlos on Orcapod. If you don't know about John, go follow him on everything. He's a wonderful human being. This is an exciting opportunity for Nouns to enter the DeSci space. The Orcapod has been working with this team for a while. We're excited to see this prop come to fruition. Research Hub is a well-respected organization that has received shout-outs from some of the top thinkers in the space. There's an opportunity to partner with them. Dr. Finjam is an expert in this field with a track record of healing himself and supporting others on their healing journey. I hope the community will rally behind this exciting prop.
Well, do you know GM Farcaster? The host of GM Farcaster just came up.
Yeah, I think I've heard of it.
Oh, crazy.
GM. I just got finished.
Oh my God, she said the thing!
Streaming.
She said the thing!
Shut up.
I will not.
Leo,
in fact,
Leo
my entire job
screen.
description is don't shut up.
Well, GM, everybody. It's nice to see you all. I just got finished streaming like 5 minutes ago, so there you go.
Thank
right
you for
here
coming and hanging out here.
I missed you guys.
A fellow pods.media head now.
You would show up only to the first episode that Toadie's at. I see how it is.
I honestly have not been able to get here because, well, first of all, I was like, you know what? I like sleep now. I really just can't. But also now it's been crossing over.
That's such a new
over my
thing for
show.
you.
So yeah. But I'm gonna try to make it from this point until the end because we have so few left.
There's only 60
So
episodes left.
I
Well, you know,
know.
me and Prof, we both have 2 kids under 2. Oh wait, hers are under 20. So I'm not sure what.
I have one kid under 20.
Oh, sorry. Similar though.
But he did get a concussion the other day at soccer. So yeah, we've had a bit of a week. Yeah. It's been not fun. Not a fun
I mean,
week.
I had a minor concussion the other day, but I didn't really do anything about it. But
Yeah.
I can relate.
He was knocked. He was knocked around pretty good. So yeah, it's
At
been a
least
rough
his
week.
was presumably inflicted by someone else.
Yes, presumably. Well, and the
Mine was just
ball.
from being stupid.
Oh,
So
well.
I tripped
would
in my
expect
living room
nothing
and fell
else.
through my coffee table. There was
I
a
remember reading.
forehead-sized bite taken out of the corner of it.
I remember
Jeez.
reading a study somewhere where they looked at professional athletes and their head trauma over the course of their careers, and actually soccer players or football players, like European football, were pretty high on the list. Like obviously American football was like above the list, like 150%. Basically,
Yeah.
basically, if you play for 5 years, you will have some kind of brain damage from playing American football at that level. But yeah, European football was a lot higher than you think, and mostly from heading the ball, which is like you don't think about it too much, but when you're heading a corner kick from someone who can kick the ball 80 miles an hour over and over again, all career long, it takes its toll.
So that's why, yeah, I said I never would let him play football, regular football, American
Yeah.
football.
American
So
football, the
for that
stats
reason,
on brain
yeah,
injuries are so high that it's kind of
it's
inferred
insane.
that if you play it in the first place, you already have one.
Yeah. So I was like, you're never playing that, and I had no idea like the level of injuries for soccer. It's crazy. So he actually fell, like he got knocked down and he hit the ground pretty hard, and then he headed the ball right afterwards, and then he came off the field and was
Ooh.
just, yeah, it was not good. So anyway,
And
but
he came off the
anyway,
field in a weird loop-de-loop shape.
yeah, he was very dizzy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Yeah, I've been there. My World Civ
So
teacher in high school had part of his face with titanium because
boy,
the bones, not you couldn't see it. But he was in an accident when him and somebody on the other team both tried to head the ball at the same time. And he jumped slightly before them.
oh my
When
god,
he was falling, they jumped into his face.
oh my god, that's
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
You're not
Well, I
allowed to
mean,
do
he
that.
was
There's a
laughing
rule.
about it.
You're not allowed to jump into people's faces. It's one of the rules.
Yeah.
Is that one of the
Yeah.
rules?
Yeah. Funny how
No jumping
rules
into
don't
people's
really
faces?
help.
That's funny.
Yeah. He was, I mean, he was joking about it. This is like 20 years before I knew him, but yeah. Shit happens.
And Toady, I saw your other post about hitting 10 ETH in mints. That's fantastic.
Thank you. Yes.
That is kind of incredible. And really goes to show just, how impressive this there it is. I was just looking for it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I got it. I'm here. I'm back. The pinup queen is here. Don't worry. I got you.
All right. So yes. And I quote, I'm currently on week 4 of Levy Chain's 10-week BP.fun content accelerator program for Zero Rights Media and Zeropod. And I got the news today that I'm the first creator from this cohort so far to reach the milestone of 10 ETH in mint volume on base and pods.media, joining their 10 ETH club. I can even get a physical plaque, apparently, like the silver play button. Big thank you to Adam, W. Cordello, and all the mentors like DWR, Kyle Koopa, Lucas, and others who have been sharing guidance, ideas, and strategies throughout this program. And of course, thank you to the 17,000 legends who collected these last 4 episodes of the pod. Next stop, 100 ETH Club.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Amazing. Love to see it.
And then he corrected himself, saying it's actually week 5.
Well, very cool. And I'm glad it's going so well, and it's really cool to see, all the results. So very, very cool to see. Amazing.
I can't wait to start producing evergreen content with you, Toad. Well, he's gone now. when we don't have
I was
a
like, is
show
he
to
just a
host.
ghost? Is he just a
No,
ghost sitting there?
he
Oh, there.
vanished.
Now he's gone. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, we once we're not hosting a show every single 24 hours. I can't believe we're ending it. Can you believe it, Prof? After
No,
1,000 episodes?
I mean, yeah, I think it's knowing how hard it is to sustain. I kind of can believe it just because it's a lot. I don't think people realize.
It's not
So,
the thing is
but
that it's not so much because of how much work it is. It is a lot of work, but um like it's eminently doable as long as that's all you're doing.
It's also
Um
partly around the clock stuff, you know.
right. That's the other
yeah,
issue
that's
is
what I
that
mean. That's
yeah.
yeah, that's the part I'm really talking about. Like to be able to do this while it's going around the clock every single day. It's a lot. It's hard. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's been great. I'm glad you're sticking it out to 1,000. So we have a nice round ending point.
Yeah.
Um,
Somebody wanted to
yeah,
end it on like 969 or something, and we were like, that's not meaningfully different, and it's better to round it out to an even 4 digits.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Ben was hoping it was going to be 11:11, but you know,
Yeah,
Yeah, that
I was
might
like,
be too
listen,
much.
Ben, if you want it to go to 11:11, I am more than happy to have it go to 11:11 as long as I'm not the one hosting it. I'm switching
Yeah,
to the
that seems like
weekly
a lot.
show. I don't. For anybody who doesn't have context of what we're talking about, by the way, as you may or may not be aware, that number 940 is not just for decoration that you see up at the top of the stream. This is the 940th consecutive episode of Noun O'Clock live at the Noun Square. We've actually been going for 947 days because we drift forward a bit, and so we started on June 13th, 2022. So yeah, that's 947 days. We have fully
Wow.
gone around the clock forward an entire week since we started, or we will have in 4 hours, um, which we will probably reach by the time we finish up the show, given the usual rate. So by the time the show ends, we will have gone forward a full week of time. We will have leveled up to a leap week in the show. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. We've decided to, our time and energy is better focused on more evergreen content, as well as on keeping the show at a consistent time where people are more able to actually show up for it, and know when it's going to be and set aside time for it. So we are going to be changing the show. As we've mentioned, we used to be the Noun Square. We have rebranded the collective to Zero Rights Media, but in order to keep the Noun Square alive, the new show every Monday 11 a.m. EST is going to be the Noun Square. So you'll be able to join us there at the square every Monday at 11 a.m. EST, which we've found through some research that like 10 to 11 10 11 12 a.m. EST is the time when most of our listeners so far have been able to join us. So it was, in a sense, democratically selected because we just looked at the data of when people were able to show up more often. Um, and that's how that turned out. Welcome back, Toady.
Hey, sorry, Prof. I promise I didn't jump off just because you asked me a question.
I would expect nothing else. Maybe you did, but
Like, how
anyway.
can I cause Prof Max awkwardness? No, I think it was Elon.
I
Was
swear
like,
these
oh,
two are like itchy and scratchy. I just
Toadie's on Spaces. I better read him.
Okay.
I better rug him just like old times.
yeah,
There's just some nostalgia,
Mm-hmm.
rugging nostalgia.
Exactly.
flawless platform with no flaws.
Well,
Aw, an
well,
oldie but a goodie.
Oh, that
That's
never went
definitely a
away.
bingo square.
Oh,
That's
shut
definitely a
up,
bingo
Brett.
square RFG.
just imagine what's going to happen to TikTok if he ends up with it.
He won't.
you mean
Toady
Is
and
he
Prof,
going
you
for it?
no,
I think it's gonna
nobody's
be called. It's gonna be called Zigzag. I heard.
there. Oh, Jesus Christ. There has
He's
been
right.
so for anybody who isn't aware, the actual name of the Red Note of Little Red Book, the app that everybody's moving away from with the TikTok ban, is Shongshu, and it starts if you Romanize it, it starts with an X, and so people are saying they're going to call that X instead of this, just to spite Elon.
That's what you call a twofer.
Yeah. We're having fun.
And isn't
Um,
that one even worse from the
no. Yeah.
security
So
perspective?
Prof, I don't know. We talked about this at the beginning of the show, but for anybody who missed the context, TikTok is in 4 days supposedly going to be banned in the U.S. The government's backpedaling pretty hard at the moment because they thought, Meta is the one who lobbied for this. They lobbied more than anyone has ever lobbied for anything else in American history, to get TikTok banned. And presumably because they thought everybody would go over to Instagram Reels, but unfortunately you can't replace a good app with a bad one, and most people would just rather not consume content than go on Instagram Reels. So everybody has been moving with the U.S. government saying,
Except for
oh, we're
Nounish.
doing this.
Nounish is the only good thing on Instagram
Right.
Reels.
But with the U.S. government was basically saying like, oh well, we're banning TikTok in the interest of national security because they are taking your data and giving it to China. Note that they don't say this about Meta, which steals more of your data than any other app on your phone. If you have Messenger, all of your data and all of the data of everyone on every Wi-Fi network you've ever connected to is compromised. But that's beside the point, because that's an American-owned company, so it's fine.
I think that's true. That is true, but I have seen some pretty cogent arguments that it's really not more. It's really more about the algorithm than it is about the data. Meaning like to have a foreign state that is maybe in some ways antagonistic to the U.S. having control over the algorithm that then in turn has control over the minds of the youth is not insignificant. I'm still
Right.
like obviously for freedom maxi, but I do see that argument holds more weight than any other. But
Right.
my answer to that is like get good. Really, is what it is. Is like because TikTok is probably one of the best, most viral apps ever created by humans. And so if you really think that it's a threat to national security, I mean, you got to make a better app. Sorry, Zuck. Like
yeah.
that's
Yes,
how
to
the
Crypto hit
market
the nail on the head in the YouTube chat. The issue isn't data harvesting. The issue is it's a state enemy. And so
Yeah.
the American people have taken this, and in typical American fashion, we have all moved over to Red Note, which is the version of TikTok that is actually owned by the CCP.
Yeah.
And saying, you
and
don't
it's
want
a
us to
little
give our
more on
data
the
to China?
nose.
All right, bet. We'll give it to them voluntarily.
Yeah, it's pretty on the nose too.
This is the Gen Z Boston Tea Party. That is basically what's happening. So,
That's
this is what you want?
That's a great.
Cool.
That's a great analogy. That's a great analogy.
It's accurate, right? Like that's basically what's happening.
And it makes sense because Gen Z has been spilling the tea for years. So.
All right, that one was a good one.
That was good.
But yeah, so that's what's going on, and it's people are having a great time. The culture over on if you haven't used Red Note, or the Red Note is the American name. The actual translation is Little Red Book, which is like literally referencing Mao Zedong's Little Red Book.
That's what I meant by it being on the nose. Yeah.
Yeah, it's oh boy.
Did you see what I shared from TikTok yesterday over on Farcast? I don't know if
I didn't. I don't think I saw it. No.
It's just this random musician who made. Well, I'm getting deep in it here, but do you know who Glorb is? Does anyone here know who Glorb is? Okay.
No.
It's an anon rapper producer who basically makes SpongeBob raps, and he's like gone viral. Brett knows, I think maybe. Anyways, he's gone viral.
I am Glorb.
You are Glorb. Brett is Glorb. Anyway, he makes animations, like custom animations featuring the SpongeBob characters, and they rap like very like vulgar rap. Anyway, it's funny. But this random musician, made like an acoustic cover of one of the viral Glorb videos, and it went like even super double, triple viral. And this is like a woman living on like disability in like a $600 apartment in the Skid Row in LA, and now she's got all these opportunities to maybe make her own music and stuff. And so it is interesting. Like some of that stuff has happened on TikTok. It does have like a lot of these really interesting grassroots powers that I haven't seen happen. And even though like the cynic in me thinks like a lot of those things are probably industry plants, I think they can't all be. And so Yeah, I'm not sure where I was going with this, but I think there is something interesting about like people with being able to um, have their creativity go viral on these type of
Yeah,
apps. But at
it's
the
it's
same time,
fantastic.
I also posted a screenshot of like a comment from the thread of comments under one of her videos where someone was like, "I hope you're making bank," and she's like, "Actually, I don't make any money off of these posts." And I screenshotted that.
Oh,
And
I saw that.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, "This is why we need on-chain media, like people like this."
Yeah,
Who need to
the
be
the
able to,
TikTok
like,
Creator Club is better than a lot of other places, but it does not pay much. The real unlock of TikTok is audience. Because there's something I don't know what this is because this isn't something that you can really. I guess you could attribute it to the TikTok algorithm, but it is easier on TikTok to get audience conversion to other platforms that actually pay you. So one of the things that for instance, let's take Twitch for example. Twitch does not really have any native discoverability tools. It has some, especially on the mobile app. They now switched it over so that it has like a TikTok style interface where you can swipe through streams. But these streams aren't designed for vertical viewing, so it's not really it's clumsy. Anyway, the the whole idea behind Twitch is not discoverability. Twitch is terrible for discoverability. What Twitch is actually for is just for the streaming, and then what they expect you to do, basically what they tell you to do if you get when you get like the affiliate documents telling you how to grow your brand and everything, they recommend that you go to YouTube. They recommend that you go to TikTok and Instagram. They give you ideas of how to grow your platform on other platforms, grow your brand on other platforms, and then on how to do audience conversion to actually showing up to the live streams on Twitch. And that's what TikTok is really useful for. And that's why so many people have had their lives changed by TikTok, is not because TikTok itself pays them a lot, but one, they've got the affiliate marketing programs that people can make bank on, and two, more so, the audience conversion rate of TikTok versus say YouTube Shorts to get people to actually subscribe to an actual like lucrative platform like Twitch is ridiculous. It's like 30% higher or something like that. I don't know the actual numbers, but it's around there, like 30 to 40%. Um, it's and so that's where people really make their money, is like you go viral on TikTok by itself. That's not necessarily useful, but it's easier to get
and
people
like
from
Brand
TikTok
then you
brand
make
elsewhere.
deals.
clothes. Then you
It's
make
brand
clothes that
deals.
says "so
Yeah.
demure" on it, and then you sell those, and that's how
Exactly.
you make your
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I mean that's how my friend Kelly makes most of her income is through brand deals because she did the Apple dance and now she's
Yeah.
everywhere.
My niece was like very very early, like first year TikTok, had a pretty good size account and got and went viral a few times. She was like Addison Rayish, like just dance whatever. But I went to some conference with her and it was crazy. Like all these kids coming up and like wanting to take pictures with her. It was so funny. But
Oh yeah, it's
the way
weird.
she made any
You were
money,
like you were like that meme. You're like, they
yeah.
don't know I'm the host of GM
She have no,
Breakfast.
I know, like, no, I was the host of nothing of that one. I wasn't doing, it was a long time ago, but she was getting brand deals. So that's what, it was like she has beautiful teeth. So it was teeth whitening and hair things and whatever. But she was making some money and that's how she was making money, not directly from TikTok. So, which
Influencer
is,
marketing.
most people, yeah,
I
most
feel like
people.
I feel like teeth whitening should be sponsoring people with yellow teeth. Put your
I
money
know.
where
Yeah.
your
But she did
Sponsored
she
by the
did the
Yellow
like
Collective.
improvement.
mouth is.
But,
Yeah, sponsored
but
by.
what's
Put your
funny
mouth
is
where
like
your
Yeah,
money is.
so my
exactly.
brother's
Hit
a
us up. Hit
dentist.
us up, Colgate or whoever makes Crest.
My brother's an endodontist and my niece is going to be one as well. So that was the other like kind of funner part of that.
Oh,
But
fun.
so she was, yeah, so it was it was connected with that too.
Yeah.
But it was really it's definitely, yeah, the influencer marketing is really where you end up when you're going viral. That's where you're going to make money.
Yeah, it's so it's also like it is weird to walk around walk around with somebody who is viral on these, because you get, even if you're not at a convention, you get stopped in the weirdest places. And the thing about TikTok is that it's so the algorithm sets you up so that you have a huge following, but it's also very niche. Where if somebody is not in your huge following, or at least not directly adjacent to it, chances are they're not going to see your video. And so you get the most niche follows. Like I walk around with one of my friends who's viral on TikTok, and we exclusively get stopped by people with like incredible fashion sense because they're on fashion TikTok. or and they follow her, or like a lot of clowns. I don't know why. Like literal clowns. I think
That's a
she did
weird
clown corn
overlap.
videos
I'm not
early
gonna
on.
lie, weird
What?
overlap between fashion TikTok and clown TikTok. There's a Venn diagram, and it's a weird one.
She did clowncore fashion videos early on, and I think a lot of them are still following her from that. Clowncore is a style. Are you not aware of this?
I wish I wasn't. I wish I still wasn't. To be honest with you,
No, it actually looks good. I like it. I mean, I guess I would,
clowncore is
but
when
still.
they try to put as many people in a pair of pants as possible. Is that
Oh
accurate?
no. Ah. You are aware I went to clown school, right?
Aware or surprised?
No, I know you're not surprised. You can tell from the everything about me. I know that. I have no illusions. Except for this up my sleep. No. But, anyway. Yeah, no. It's
You have
it's
no
gonna be
illusions
it's
because
gonna
you
be
didn't go to
wild.
magic school.
Interestingly,
Actually I
though, that's how
did,
she
but
ended up. That's how she ended up in Nouns, though, because at the end of graduation for clown school, they have like career tracks, and crypto is one of them, right at the top.
I mean, that would make sense.
I wish you were wrong.
So crypto, politics, CEO of a Fortune 500, and then at the very bottom, circus.
Yeah, well, no, this is the thing that's hilarious.
You
So
forgot rodeo.
I
You
didn't
forgot
go
rodeo
to a
clown.
distinct
Right.
clown school. I took clown classes at my regular conservatory.
Oh,
But I do find it.
you minored in clowning. Okay. Okay,
No,
that's
no,
different.
Toady, I literally minored in clowning. That's not a bit.
You were
I li-
perfect. You knew that one day you'd need to be a clowner, and this would serve you well.
I mean, I also minored in computer science and Italian, but that's beside the point.
Minoring in
one of
computer science. So you minored in Mirko? Is that what you just said?
basically. No, but and French. But and percussion. Actually, well, technically, I started as a double major in percussion. Beside the point. I I have a bunch of minors because I didn't. I just had a bunch of AP courses so I didn't have to take all the classes. I had to like one class to fill all these requirements, and I just tested out of the rest of them. So like I have a minor in French. I never went to a single French class. I just tested out of all of the classes that you needed to have to minor in French, and they just gave it to me.
Well, speaking of a bunch of minors, back to the TikTok ban.
We're gonna say she's now a validate tour.
Anyway.
I
Yeah,
like how
back to the
Toady just
TikTok.
did a segue just to do the pun. It was just
Yeah,
about that. That was it.
yeah, he did.
All right,
Yeah,
we're,
we're
we're,
actually
Wasn't an
done with that
actual,
topic, but
not an actual segue, just for the joke.
Oh, I would never write an actual Segway. The inventor of Segway died on a Segway. That'd be too dangerous.
how would you die on a Segway? They go like 3 miles an hour.
Look it up. He drove a Segway off a cliff. The inventor of the Segway. Now
How did
that's
he
a
manage
Segway.
that? Was he trying to do a weird dippy
Maybe
bob turn and
maybe
just
he was testing to see if it would stop automatically, and it just didn't work.
I don't know the details, but it might be something similar to that story of like the glass salesman who like constantly would
who
show.
ran out a window?
Yeah, he would constantly run full force and jump out a window in order to sell his windows to people. And then one day, after like 10 years of doing that, he popped it out of the socket and fell to his death.
Yeah, he was saying the
Comes
glass
out to
will
be
not break, and he was right. The glass did not break.
Actually,
It
the
was the
glass
window
did
frame.
break. The glass did break when it hit the pavement.
Okay,
10
well,
feet
yes,
down.
but there are limits.
So get good.
Anyway, I think we have gone thoroughly off the rails, and we have been here for an hour and 15 minutes, so I'm happy to call it there if you are.
Is that because I'm being a pain?
No, no.
Only prof got that
Was
one.
that a window? That was a window reference.
I
Wasn't
know it was a window reference. I was just trying very hard not to acknowledge it. God damn.
That was the frame of reference for it, yes.
I'm rugging us. Thanks everybody for coming to Noun O'Clock Live. I'm not
Join
giving
us
you
after
another
this.
opportunity. Huh?
Join us after this on Red Book Live. We'll be taking questions.
You think you're joking, but I'm actually going to give us a presence there. 9 o'clock live at the Noun Square. No, not the Noun Square anymore. It's Zero Rights Media. See what you do, Tony? You screw up my script.
I'm off to mow the grass.
We're going to be back here tomorrow, 9:10 a.m. EST. Until then, don't forget to check out Nomo Now number 1384, this beautiful monochromatic panda with the Hoododaka accessory for just 0.00069 ETH. That's 2.3 USD. 100% of the proceeds go to the Yellow Collective Treasury, which goes to funding artists on chain in the Nouniverse and beyond. Speaking of, you can bid on today's Yellow Collective now, number 464, at yellowcollective.xyz. Once again, that's yellowcollective.xyz. Otherwise, go listen to ZeroPod. We will see you on Warpcast. We'll see you on Twitter. We'll see you on YouTube for ZeroPod and everything else. We'll see you on Spotify, anywhere else that you might listen to a podcast. And most importantly, we will see you tomorrow. Thanks for coming, everybody.